Well, this is different. Hello. I'm trying a new segment here that I'm calling the Illuminated Path, where your path becomes illuminated for the foreseeable future. And I came out here to this beautiful place, and I'm going to give you a short little reading for your week. My deck fell in the middle of the woods everywhere, and it's wet out here. And I can't make this stuff up. I really can't. One of the cards was turned up and the rest were turned down. So we're going to get to that reading in just a minute. For structure, because I am restructuring things a little bit, and I want you guys to be on top of what I'm telling you and just know what's happening with Earth and Star. We've been sending out emails about retreats and memberships, but for you guys here, just know that you get your big meat and potatoes type of lesson with your ISTIF fund attached to it and your lab group attached to it the first Sunday of every month. The other Sundays, I try to do smaller videos or interview videos with other wonderful intuitives and spiritualists and things like that. And then on Wednesdays in our memberships, we put out a Warrior Wednesday short video. So you have to be part of the Dignitary membership to see those videos. But what about everybody else? You don't want to just see me on Sundays, or especially for a big word, only one Sunday a month. So I felt like we could do an Illuminated Path video on Thursdays maybe. And I could give you a little bit of word about your upcoming week or things you might be going through in the climate right now. So I think that this is a pretty good thing. Plus, we're also trying to do our community highlights. So those of you who are actively engaging in this Welcome Home community, you get to have your names called and maybe win a free reading. So today what was really weighing on me and feeling into the collective of everything is this sense of fear. And this is something that's been going on for a few months now, and a lot of you have really worked through it, but it keeps coming up in smaller ways because you're being tested. And if you know me, you know that being tested doesn't mean God's testing to see if you're going to fail, because I believe that our higher selves put things in place to test ourselves. That once we think we've overcome something, we decide we want to test ourselves to really see if we've overcome it before we move on to the next level energetically. Right now, a lot of you are in the middle of a level up, which means that all of those things that you thought you've overcome, all those fears that you thought you were past, you are maybe seeing them try to creep their way back in around the outsides, and you're having to face those things again. But they might not feel as big as they did in the beginning because you've already differentiated yourself from them. You've already recognized those fears and learned how to move past them. But they're just here again to say, hi, remember me? Are we still friends? And this is where you get to say, no, we're not still friends. Goodbye again. So this could be cropping up in relationships that want to show back up and dip their toes in the water again, and you're having to replace your boundaries. This could be coming up in your professional life where you're moving from one space to another space, and it feels a little scary to do that. It could be coming up in your spiritual life or your emotional life or in the political climate, things that you thought you'd worked through as far as fear goes, popping back up. Now, when this first started coming up months and months ago, what we were doing was we were turning all of that fear into love, because fear is the opposite of love. And we were saying, okay, I'm fearful right now, so I need to get myself into my love space in order to take correct action. Now, we're turning fear into motivation. Now, when we recognize that fear coming in, oh, well, what about this? Oh, well, this little thing's coming up. Remember this thing? Now, when those fears come in, we're letting it motivate us. We're not saying I'm afraid of that because we've already gone past being afraid of it. We're just recognizing the fear inside of ourselves from it. And we're saying, you know what? This is showing itself to me because I'm supposed to continue taking steps forward. I'm supposed to move more into my power, more into this side step, more into this other part of the timeline. I'm supposed to be continuing to do the thing that I know I want to do, that I've set myself up to do. And when you see that fear, push yourself forward even more, not into building a safe space around the fear, but you're pushing yourself forward into the fear because the thing that you're afraid of is where you're supposed to be. Okay? Think about that. Don't think about it in a resistant way. Think about it in a how does this apply to me kind of way. Where that thing that's in your face right now that you might be a little afraid of, how are we supposed to lean into this right now and let it motivate us into a better part of us? Am I supposed to look at this fear and say, no, I trust spirit and keep moving forward? Or am I supposed to look at this thing and say, this is the scariest thing I've ever dealt with, but I know that I'm supposed to take this path, and then take that path anyways? Fear is a motivator because what it is your mind, your logical mind saying, I've never been here before and I don't know what to expect. But once we push through into that fear, we've crossed the threshold. We're through. We're into a new space that we've never been before, and it's really going to empower us and level us up. So let's see what the cards have to say about fear and motivation. Like I said, there was one card that was face up, the rest are face down, and that's the medicine wheel card. Now, you may know by now that I am teaching an Intro to Shamanism course coming up in May. So if this is something you're interested in, it's just a 2-hour workshop. That's it, a 2-hour workshop. It's on the website. That might be a way to go if you really want to know how to incorporate the medicine wheel into your day-to-day life without really initiating yourself into the lineage and spending years studying this. This is just a very basic, these are certain archetypes, and these are how you use those power animals in your day-to-day life, because this medicine is free for everybody. But the medicine wheel teaches us that we can heal and we can grasp a hold of our destiny when we shed our core issues, when we move through fear, when we heal everything from our past that's holding us back and causing negative belief systems and blockages. Then we can move forward into our destiny, into our purpose, into what we want to create in the universe, into what we want to see. So healing, taking that workshop, taking the full course, whatever you feel is helpful for you. The medicine wheel is medicine for your life. The second card here is the middle world. So when we get to the middle world, this is basically what's happening right now on this 3D earth plane within 40 time space. So this is your current life. When we get this, it's not about concentrating on the past or even looking to the future. This is about what's happening right now and allowing ourselves to be very much in the present moment right now. So between these two cards and how fear motivates us, it's basically saying, let's heal everything that's holding you back, and then stop thinking about it. Stop worrying. Stop being in fear and living in fear of moving forward. Let's just be present right now. What do we want in our lives right now? What will make us feel joyful and happy right now? And let's go for that thing. Let's be motivated. Let's let ourselves just be happy where we are, and let's let ourselves be successful, be loving, be joyful. Look around. Look around. There's green, there's wisteria, there's orange cats acting crazy. There's nothing right now that you can't overcome. There's nothing right now that can't motivate you. There's no energies out here right now that you can't bring inside of yourself and say, I'm going to take this to move myself forward. I'm going to take this to level up, because when I'm leveled up, I'm empowered enough to make change and bring peace to the world, and that's what I'm here to do. I hope you found this illuminated path illuminated. Take this and apply it into your week moving forward and see how it really helps you navigate some spaces that you might be in.